afternoon, everyone. Ooh, you turn the sound down. How is everyone today? Anyone there? Just posting. Right. Just posted a link in the comments section for a link to our website. So if anyone's interested in any of the products, if you just click on the link in the comments section, it'll take you straight to our website where you can have a look at everything I'm using today, or most of the things I'm using today anyway. Oh, hello Dawn, how are you? Might be able to see you soon, might be allowed out. Here's hoping, eh? We're keeping everything crossed at the moment. Hoping that we'll be able to go back in next week, but we'll have to see. If you're popping on, say hello, so I know you're there. Oh, how is everyone today? Are you all well? Hope you haven't blown away. It's rather windy in Wales at the moment. Very windy indeed. Today. Good afternoon, Beverly Parry. How are you? Hello, Ian. Ian's on today as well, so he's not doing any errands today. So if anyone has any questions and I miss your comments, then because I'm too engrossed in what I'm doing, then I'm sure Ian will be there to help anyway. And he knows all the difficult answers, whereas I don't. So if you're watching, say hello, so I can say hello back, so I know that you're there. And if you can also share this live on your own timelines, in any crafting groups that you're members of, or if there's any friends that you know. Hello Tina! Hi Annie! Oh, I got some exciting news for Tina. I'll tell you at the end. What's the time? Oh, it's nearly 2 o'clock. Yes, so if you can share this this Facebook Live, that will be fabulous. Get some more people on, more the merrier. The more people know about us, the better. Because if we're back in the shop from next week, we probably... Ooh, I bet you can't, Tina. Hello, Mum. How are you? Glad you joined us. I did invite you, so hopefully you got that. Yeah, so hopefully we're back in next week. Fingers crossed. Hi, Judith. So yeah, so we'll probably go back to doing a Facebook Live once a fortnight. Probably still on a Thursday afternoon, Thursday at 2 o'clock. So it'll either be every week or every other week. We'll have to see how things go, see how busy we are. Oh, good. Mum got her invite. That's good. Did you watch my little video to show you how to change your settings on Facebook? Because I don't know if anyone else has seen that. I posted a video, I think it was last week, on our Facebook page about how you can change your settings, because sometimes you might miss out on posts, sometimes you only see highlights, so you won't necessarily see all of our posts. Hello Sarah, how are you? Afternoon Gainer. So there's a couple of little things that you can do to change your settings just to make sure that you're getting all of our posts. Oh, she hasn't seen it. Disgraceful mum. Anyway, I've got a few people on now, so I might as well make a start. So I'm going to, I'll show you, I'll talk about what I'm doing today. And then at the end of the live, I'll show you, we've just had our, an order in from one of our suppliers. So I'll show you what goodies we've got. Well, I'll show you one of the goodies that we've actually got in. They're all allocated, but if anyone else wants any, then you could let us know. Hello Helen, how are you? Right, so I'm using, this is the card I'm doing, and it's just, you know me, I like to do quite simple cards. So this is quite a simple, just pretty card, just using backing papers, a little bit of die cutting in there as well, and tiny little bit of stamping. Oh, and embossing as well. Yeah, so it's just a nice, easy to do card. That would be nice for Mother's Day. Oh, merci beaucoup, Annie. Yes, completely lost my thread now. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be using products from the Nitwit collection. So this is Nitwit Bloom with Grace. So the Bloom with Grace, last week, if you watched my live last week, I used the Nitwit collection. It was the Positivity, I think it was, which was all sort of the dogs and cats, which was really nice. So this week I'm going to be using the Bloom with Grace collection. So we've got lovely 12 by 12 backing paper pad. There's a really nice stamp and die set. So very similar to last week, you get a set of stamps and you get a set of coordinating dies with that. And then there's also another separate stamp set, which is sentiments. So it's really nice and sort of, you know, just nice sentiments. Find beauty in every day. Without change, there will be no butterflies. Celebrate every little thing. Your kindness makes such a difference. You know, really nice. You've got happy anniversary on there. You make my heart smile. Oh, no die. Yeah, so really nice sentiments on there. So that's those. The this backing paper pad is gorgeous. I'm going to start from my very favourite one. My absolute favourite backing paper is that one, which I think is stunning. And actually, Ian's used that backing paper in his card making class, online card making class this month. I'll, if I get a chance, I'll give you a little peek at the end. So these are double-sided papers. So they've got patterned design on one side, and then the other side has got a coordinating colour. So really nice, really pretty papers. Just, I love these designs. Some, you know, some simpler ones as well. Ooh, that one's a bit houndstooth. I learned that from last week, houndstooth. Some, yeah, just really nice papers. Yeah, so lovely. Nice trellis design. That one, I think that's one of my favourites as well. That's the one I actually used in this card. So as you can see, I just used this little bit in the corner here. And that's the nice thing about these backing papers as well, is you can just cut out what you want, and then that's a nice one as well. Oh, I like that. I might use that one today. And you don't have to do too much else. You know, it's just a nice simple card. So that's those. I'm also going to be using, I've got some new dies from Sentimentally Yours. We've had these in the shop for a while, and And I've got the rounded rectangle ones, and these are the rounded squares. Because sometimes yes, you can make a square out of a rectangle. I have shown that in a past live, but because these are double debossed, sometimes it leaves little little ridges or debossed areas. So the squares are lovely as well. And for some reason, Phil's not going to be continually restocking all of these dies, which I'm gutted about. So that's why I thought I'd get them before they sell out. So that's those ones, and I'm also going to be using from the Loveliest Lattice Borders collection. Oh yeah, from the Ornamental collection, the Loveliest Lattice Borders is the ones I've got. I think there's about 3 different border sets. So this one is the Loveliest Lattice Borders, but there are a couple of other ones as well. So they're really nice, so I'll be using that as well. And that was just across the bottom here, just to give a little bit of a bit of interest, and so I could put my other flower on top of that. So, without further ado, I shall crack on. So, I've got an 8x8 scalloped card blank here, which we have in stock at the moment. We've got all the card blanks in stock. So this is just an 8x8 scallop one. I thought the 8x8, the scallop one, went quite well actually with this, because this is quite a pretty sort of card anyway. So the scallop one just gives it a nice delicate finish, I think, because you know me, I am very delicate. So that's my card blank. So that's easy peasy. And then I'm going to die cut a piece of craft card. Now the craft card I've used on this card is actually our pick and mix craft card that we sell in the shop in A4 size. Really nice, and it's got a nice sort of speckle to it, so that's a really nice one. But I haven't got another sheet of that at home, so I've rummaged around in Ian's stash, and we've also got some craft card that we sell in bigger sheets. I think we sell them in A3 sheets, which is basically double the size of A4. So I'm going to be using some of that instead. So it'll look slightly different, but it's still craft card. So I've already cut this bit down. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to grab my... What's Ian saying? They are a bit of a purchase but will last a lifetime. Yes, very true. And they're worth it, aren't they? Hello Sarah, how are you? Right, so what I've done as well, what I tend to do with Phil's dies, comes with the backing, with the cover sheet in there. Some of his older dies don't come with a magnetic sheet. The newer ones do tend to. So it's hit and miss about whether you'll get the magnetic sheet in there or not. Obviously, if you get the ones without the magnetic sheet, they do work out a little bit cheaper. So these ones didn't have the magnetic sheet. So we sell magnetic sheets with a sticky backing on in the shop. Pack of 2, I think, for £2.50 or something from Woodware. Bargain. So all I've done is I've taken the backing off of that, and I've actually stuck the card sheet to the back of the magnetic sheet, so that it means that I can just keep them on there, and it just makes it a little bit easier to keep hold of them, rather than, because when they're stuck on the sticky stuff, it's a blooming nightmare to try and peel off. So so that's what I've done. So it's a good thing to do. So I've used the second. So that's the first one on the outer edge there, and then I've used the second one in, and that's the one I'm going to cut. Let me get that out of the way. That's the one I'm going to cut my first layer on. So just grab my plates, and I'm using the Grand Caliber. We've got a Grand Caliber here, so if anyone's got anything like that, you can use any old machine. The only thing is, I don't think the biggest ones would go through an A5 machine. Let me check. These some A5 plates, no. So they wouldn't go through an A5 machine, so you would need an A4 machine to be able to use these particular dies. Hello Peter. The only problem is my tablet is so far away from me that I can't actually see it very well, because my eyes aren't what they used to be. Yes, we hope so too, Sarah. Hopefully we will be able to reopen soon. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of repositionable tape. Oh, no, there's little bits up here as well. Excuse me if I wobble my thingy. Ian's put some tape on my little tripod, because this tape is starting to get a little bit old now. It's well used. What are you looking for, Mum? Are you looking for this glue? The High Tack All Purpose. We have got it in stock, so it shouldn't say out of stock on the website. Yes, indeed, Annie. They are. It does make it a lot easier, doesn't it? Just putting this through my machine. There we go. It sticks to the me card a bit. No, so that's that one. Just a little smidge that hasn't quite cut through there, so I should just get my little scissors. Probably because this is quite a thick craft card, actually, thicker than the other stuff I used. So pop that back on my magnetic sheet. Get rid of me rubbishy bits, and then I'll keep that for later, because I'll probably use that for my flower. Right, so that's that. So that's easy enough. So that's going to be my backing piece that's going to go on there. Lovely jubbly. It's nice, isn't it? I do like craft card. I just think it is a really nice look to it. And now I'm going to use the next die in. So number 3 is the next die in. That's the good thing about nesting dies. You can just work your way in, and it just makes it really easy to work out your mats and layers. So that's the die I'm going to use, and now I'm just going to decide which one to use. Now I think I'm drawn to this one. And I think that would be really nice, wouldn't it? Because that would fit. And then what I might do, I might actually put the border across there. Or I might put it there and cover up the grace bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It looks really nice, that does, doesn't it? I do like that. So I'm going to take this one out. I think with these packs you do get, they're 180 gram, 12 by 12. You get 36 sheets in there. So I think you get 3 of each design as well. So I've still got another 2. Oh no, I actually got 3. Oh, is there 3 of each or 4 of each? I think it depends. I think some of them there might be 3, some of them there might be 4 of a sheet. So yeah, so there's plenty in there to keep you going. I'll just put that on the floor out the way for the moment. According to the website, you are out of high tack, fast tack. Yeah, this isn't the fast tack glue. This is just the original high tack. So yeah, we should have some of this. I'm sure we got this in stock, but the fast tack one we haven't got in stock. So maybe you're looking at the wrong one. Oh, Judith has said, Gavin, did you just cut ordinary cardstock? We've just had a power cut, so I missed a little bit of the... Oh dear, power cut. Oh dear. It was, this is our craft card. So we either have this sort of craft card, which is sort of more of a speckledy one, which we sell in our pick and mix in the shop in A4 sheets. And then we also have this craft card, which is a slightly thicker craft card, a bit more sturdy. It's actually slightly different shades on the two sides as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it does vary slightly. And this one is the one that we sell in the big A3 sheets. So all I've done is I just die cut it with my second nesting die here. And now I'm going on to my backing paper. So what I'm going to do, where's my pencil? There's my pencil. I'm going to decide where I'm going to be die cutting this. So I'm going to die cut it around about there, because then I'm going to put my little banner across, because I'm going to cover up Grace, because I don't want Grace to be on there, do I? So as long as I make sure that I cut my backing paper down there, then I can die cut that. So I'm just going to pop this in my guillotine to cut it down, because obviously I can't put a 12 by 12 through my A4 machine. So 2 seconds. Well, maybe a bit more than 2 seconds. There we are. So that's that cut down, and there's a nice backing side on that as well. So you've got a lot of choice. There we are. So now I know that I'm going to die cut that bit there. Really lovely design this is as well. I do like it. You know, and all the work is in the image there, so you don't really need to do very much yourself, which is quite nice. And if you can, always try and put it in your machine at a little bit of an angle, because it's always better for the machine if you can cut it at an angle, because you don't have so many straight edges and you don't end up with a bump, a speed bump. Make sure that's lined up okay. Yep. So I shall whiz this through the machine quickly. Put that on there so you've got something to look at. There we are. Anyone got any other questions? Can you post a link to it, Ian? If you go and find the glue on the website and then just copy it and just paste it into this, then Mum can find it from there, if that's all right. Either that, or I can email you afterwards with it. I can send you the link later. Love the idea with the pad paper. Oh, thank you, Sarah. No. Is that no to me? Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, so this little bit is left over. So I'll put that aside, because I can, you can do something. You could make a nice A6 card out of that, even if you just use this bit and then cover all this up with some flowers or something, or a sentiment. There's always ways and means of using that. So that's what I've done now. Lovely double debossed detail around the edge there. So what I'm going to do to actually bring that out a little bit more, I'm going to do a little bit of distressing, just very subtle, nothing too heavy. So I'll grab my non-stick sheet. You could use a glass cutting mat. I wouldn't recommend using a rubber, one of those rubber cutting mats, because I'm going to be using ink. These are better because you can just wipe the surface really easily. Which reminds me, I could do with my little cloth as well. Cloth ready. Yeah, it's a lovely design, isn't it? And it fits really perfectly in that as well, if I do say so myself. So I'm just going to use one of our blending brushes, and this is, our central heating system is making a funny noise. This is a water reactive dye-based ink, and this one is Seal Brown that I'm using here. So the water reactive ones are much more subtle, and they're a bit, They're a bit more like if you've ever used any of Tim Holtz distress inks. The water reactive ones are more like the distress inks, and then the opaque inks that we tend to use quite a lot are more like the oxides, the Tim Holtz distress oxide inks. So there we are. You can see just by putting that little bit of ink, it really highlights the debossed area, and it just gives it a nice sort of a vignette around the edge as well. And hopefully I'm not going to end up having fingerprints all over my nice image. Try and keep my hands clean. Has anyone been doing any crafting? Still waiting for people to post pictures of their makes on this month's online card making class that Ian's done. Can't wait to see people's creations on there. And we've also done a video on, we've got an online class for making a die storage folder, which is really nice. That's proving quite popular as well. We're fast running out of tape. We need to order some more tape because we've sold quite a few of those. Yeah, so I'm just working my way around. Go at a little bit of I tend to go a little bit of an angle just to try and control the ink, just to make sure I don't put too much on straight away. But these brushes are really nice because they've got that rounded bit to them. They blend really well. You don't tend to get lines like you can do sometimes with the blending tools. Yeah, so nice and subtle. Coming a little bit more around the edges just to make it a bit softer. Well, so it's quite subtle, but it just gives an extra. It defines the debossed areas and just gives it a softer look. You can focus a little bit more. So pop that to the side for the moment. Give my mat a quick spritz with some water, because these are water-based inks, so easy peasy to clean. So just wipe that off. Oh, there we are. Ian's managed to post a link to the glue. So if you click on that link either now or at the end of the live, that will take you straight to a website where the glue is. Thank you very much, Ian. Oh, wonderful, Sarah. Well, you'll have to post that in Valley Crafters so we can have a look at it. Nice to see your makes. Yeah, so I just roll that up so that it's out the way for the moment. I'll need it again in a little bit, but just to keep it out the way. Yeah, so that's that. So now I'm going to, what shall I do next? Next I'm going to, I think I'm going to do my flower. So, in this collection, in the, what do they call it, stamp and die set, it's imaginative. If I take it out the packaging, go you, Ian. So you get a set of stamps, and you also get a set of coordinating dies. So the three biggest flowers have got three coordinating dies to go with them, and then there's also a couple of little sentiments. We've got with deepest sympathy, which is always a hard one to do, but handy some nonetheless. Hugs and kisses is the other one as well. So it's quite a nice little set, that is. and I'm going to do it on the craft card as well. So there's no reason why not. Why you can't do it on the craft card, is there? And what I'm going to do, I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to do if I'm going to use, because I'm going to use one of the Sentimentally Yours Superfine Embossing Powders. This is pure copper, which is a really nice colour. That's the one I actually used on my original card. If you can see that, but it's really nice, that is. Oh, you can see it shining, can't you? Yeah. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you how I do that. But then I'm also going to stamp one just in black ink as well. And I'm going to make up my mind which one I want to use. Because I might do it differently this time. Right, so there's a nice little sort of group of flowers with a little butterfly there. And then there's a couple of individual flower sets. I think the one I'm going to use is this one. I'm going to use the same one as I used last time because it just seems to fit nicely. So I shall... now I need I'm going to be brave and just go straight with a block, I think. And hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be fine. Although what I might do, because I usually use my press to impress, but what I might do is actually take my foam pad out of there and then actually use that to stamp on. Because it's always better if you've got something, if you're using something like an acrylic block and a clear stamp like this, it's always best to see if you can get a firm surface like this. You can buy stamping mats, but this is one that actually comes with the press to impress, so I might as well use that. So because I'm going to be embossing, the first thing I need to do is make sure I've got everything ready. So I've got my piece of paper to catch my embossing powder. I've got my embossing powder, and this is the pure copper that I've got here. Really super fine, as you can see, and it is a lovely colour. I do like copper. I've got my watermark ink pad, and then I've also got my anti-static pad. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some anti-static on my piece of card, and then just gently tap, just to get a little bit of the anti-static powder on there. Put it all over the place now. And it doesn't matter if you just leave it on there, it actually works out a little bit better sometimes because you can actually see where you stamped, because we're using the clear embossing ink. You can actually see where you stamped when you've got anti-static powder on there. So then I'm just going to tap my powder, my ink pad, all the way over my stamp. And this is the Spectrum Noir one, but you could use Versafine, Perfect Medium. I think Wow do an embossing pad as well. So there's all sorts of different ones that you can get, or you may already have. So put that on there. Stamp that onto there, and then I'll make sure as well when I stamp it that I've left a bit of a border as well, because I'm going to be die cutting this out. I want to make sure that there's a bit of a border. So give that a good press. Make sure it's all lovely. And you can see it really clearly on there as well, because I've got the anti-static powder on there. It just makes it stand out a lot better. And because I've used the anti-static powder, it doesn't stick to anywhere it shouldn't do, which is always good. There we are, and then my trusty piece of scrap paper, which we've had for about 100 years. Just use the same old piece of paper all the time. There we are. So that's that done. So that is ready to emboss, to heat emboss now. Once you've stamped it and once you've put the embossing powder on, you don't need to rush. You can just take your time. So what I might do actually is just give my stamp a quick squirt with some water just to clean that off, just to clean any excess ink off of there. Like so. Oh, we've got a few people watching now. Well, thank you if anyone that's shared. And hello, anyone that's new, hasn't been on before. I think this is Facebook Live number, I think it's number 53. So we've got quite a few now. So you can watch all the past ones on our Facebook page. Just go into the live tab and you'll see them all in there. Or you can watch them all on our YouTube channel as well, which I think if you just search for Valleycraft or Valleycraft UK or Valleycraft Limited, something like that, you'll find them on there. Or you can access them via our website as well. If you go to valleycraft.co.uk, click on the More option, and then I think there's a link to the YouTube videos on there as well. So yeah, and I think there's about 53 now. So I'm just going to give this a quick blast with my heat tool just to emboss the embossing powder. And make sure it's up to temperature. You can go from underneath. I tend to be a bit impatient and just tend to go over the top, and that's fine most of the time. And it never gets boring, does it? Watching it melt. Lovely. There we are, and once it all goes shiny, then you know it's all been embossed and it's all melted. Okay, so nice and easy. And while I'm doing it, before I die cut this out, I'm going to also stamp another one in the black ink. Just because, why did I put that away? So that I've got a choice, because I'm terrible for changing my mind. So if I've got choices, then I'll be better. Yeah, say hello if you're watching, so we can say hello back. Only if you want to, of course. You don't have to. So this is Versafine Claire Ink, which gives a really lovely crisp image. So again, I'm just gonna go for it. It's quite a simple image, so, and it's quite a small stamp, so I should be fine. We're just giving it a good push. Make sure I push in the middle, because the middles are always the area that you tend to miss. Leave the ink to soak in a little bit as well into this card. And then lift it off, and there's my lovely image. Just give this a quick wipe. If you're very quick, you can usually just wipe this ink off your stamp without having to try cleaning it with cleaning solution or anything like that. So that's what I've done there. Pop that back on there. Oh, hello Sandra. How are you? No worries, you can always catch up later. We haven't missed very much. All we've done, we've die cut a backing piece of craft card. I've die cut a piece of the backing paper from the Bloom with Grace Nitwit collection, and I've just inked around the edges. And then I've just done some heat embossing on this stamp, and I'll just stamp this one out as well, just so I've got choices. And then this is the die that coordinates with those. So again, like I did last week, very easy to line it up. Let me get my plates, my cutting plates. I use the A5 ones on this time. Always make sure you've got some low tack tape as well. And then just make sure that you can roughly see the edges of the image through the center of the die. And then that should cut pretty well. So I'll just quickly whiz that through my machine. Just like that. Yeah, so that's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty well lined up. You get a nice edge on there. I'll carefully peel my tape off. This piece is a bit newer, so that's why it's taking a bit longer. And then I shall stick this one on and die cut this one out as well. And then I shall decide, when I put the card together, I'll decide which one I want to use. That'll do. Oh, you can see my tufty bit. My hair is a work in progress. Oh, Ian's so bossy, isn't he? Show the trick with the aperture. Well, I can't really now, can I? I showed it last week anyway. There we are, not too bad, a little bit off there, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, what you can do, you can, if you stamped your image and you have a die cut piece like this already, then what you can do, you can actually stamp that, you can actually position the die cut hole over there, and then actually pop your die in, and then actually die cut it like that, and then you know it's going to be in exactly the right place. It's just sometimes it's personal preference, I think. These dies are fairly easy to line up anyway, so that's why I didn't bother doing that. But obviously, if you're going to be doing loads of cards with the same one, then it might be a good idea to do that. Or you can have a template and just leave it with your dies as well. That's the other thing you could do. Okay. Right, so so I'll pop that away now because I've finished with that. I'll pop those back in there, and then that's that sorted. I've got a nice little pile of everything all lying on the floor now. So that's my two flowers, so I'm going to decide which one I'm going to use, whether I'm going to use that one or that one later. And the other thing I did as well was I did a little bit of distressing around the edge, so I'll do that in a minute. But before I do that, I want to do my border. So with my border, oh, that's something I haven't got. It's a piece of white card. Let me just grab a piece of white. A little scrap of white here. That should be big enough. Yeah, oh yeah, plenty. And the last time I used the butterfly, not the butterfly, the hearts one. So I think this time I might use that one. I think to do my. I thought the white was quite nice because the white gives, even though I've distressed the edges a little bit just to blend it in, but it does give a little bit of contrast, and it matches up with the white of the card as well. So I should just quickly die cut that. Make sure it fits on my piece of card. And I'm going to be very careful and not stick it down. Make sure it hasn't moved. Ooh, the sun's coming out. And hopefully that is die cut lovely. One tip actually, if you ever die cut something and then you do find that it hasn't quite cut in certain areas, rather than trying to put it through the machine again, if you just get the back of a spoon, get like a teaspoon, and actually rub it over the back, this area, then it just helps to finish cutting any areas that you might have had a little bit of a problem with. Now I can't find my pokey tool. I've got this one here, so let me try this one. That's the only problem with some of these intricate dies, is they have so many little bits, don't they, that you have to pop out. And then you spend forever doing that. I have got one of those little brush tool things somewhere, but sometimes it's just as easy to just use a pokey tool. Yeah, there's a couple of other different ones. I think one of them has got a nice scalloped edge on with the borders. That would have been quite a nice one to use, but I haven't got the scalloped edge one, I've only got the straight edge one. It's typical, isn't it? You always want something that you haven't got. Or is that just me being greedy? Come out really easily as well. Just a couple of little bits extra that haven't quite popped out. Lovely jubbly, that's quite a nice design, isn't it? I quite like that. So move that out of the way. And I've got a nice little bit of, I'll pop that over there and I'll clean that up a bit later. And then the other thing I wanted to do was, oh, I can't find my, where did I put my other piece of craft card? Did anyone see where I put that? I had another piece of craft card here just now. It's really not my day today. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is, it's behind me. Panic over. It was behind me. Those borders make it look as if it's a piece of ribbon across the card. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that was sort of my thinking really when I did it. But what I'm going to do as well, because this die set comes with a backing die as well, just a plain backing die. I mean, you can just use a pair of scissors or a guillotine or whatever, but if you wanted, you can actually use this to die cut out a perfect backing piece. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to quickly mark that so I can cut it in the guillotine, and then I shall die cut that little backing piece. There we are, so a little strip off of that, and then that will fit on there. The only reason I'm doing a backing piece on this one is because it'll cover up everything behind it. So it'll cover up the word grace that I don't want to be seen. So there we are. So busy. That's that sorted. Put that onto there. Oh, I need a bigger table, I tell you. Well, so that's my backing piece. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stick that onto there. So when... because if I put that just over the top like that, you'd still see the word grace. And the other thing as well is makes it more difficult because I want to raise it up with foam tape. I would have to put foam tape along this area here. So if my foam tape is a little bit too wide, I'm going to have to cut it down the middle. Whereas if I put a backing on it like that, it's going to cover up the word grace, which I don't want to see. And it also means it doesn't matter where I put the foam tape. So it's a win-win. Yeah, so I'm going to do a bit of distressing around those edges. So I'll get my little mat out again. And I'm going to distress my border. And if I'm lucky, I won't... no, I will need to put some more ink on there, I think. Surprising how much ink these brushes hold, actually, but I do want it to be a little bit more obvious. So I'm just going to work my way along there. I do like doing a little bit of distressing every so often. I don't tend to do it very often. Not like some people that go mad with distressing. Sometimes it just finishes things off. Don't you think? There we are, so that's that. And then I'm going to distress both of these because I still haven't made up my mind. Usually stressing, not de-stressing. Yes, that's very true. I am a one for stressing. So I'm just going around the edges. Just to give it a little bit of definition. Obviously it doesn't show up quite as much as it would do on white card because it's craft card, but then sometimes that's quite nice, I think. Sometimes it just gives it a bit of definition. I like that. And I'm going to do the same for this one. So just quickly whiz around this. And sometimes doing this is a good way of covering up if you have made any mistakes, if you've die cut it and it's a little bit wonky. Rather than chucking it out, if you just add a little bit of ink to the edges, then that can sometimes cover up a multitude of sins. because we're all human, aren't we? We all make mistakes. And things don't go as you expect them to. There we are. So that's that. So that's with the gold, with the copper. And I've done my border as well. So that's that. I'm on cooking on gas now. So just give this a quick wipe. Spritz and a wipe. You should be classed as essential for. Oh right. Well, that is very true, Annie. And because we sell cleaning products and things like that. But then even if we had stayed open for doing the cleaning products, the refill stuff, we wouldn't have been able to sell craft stuff in the shop. So hopefully we're nearly to the end. A couple more months and we would have had our vaccines and things can start getting back to normal again. Can't wait to see my family again. I haven't seen them for such a long time. Such a long time. There we are. So I think I'm more or less ready to start assembling. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this to this so that it'll have a little bit of time to dry. So I'm just using my good old high-tack glue. It's got a really fine nozzle on the end of this as well, so it never clogs. As long as you've got your little bung, it never clogs. So I'm just going to put some of this glue down the sides and maybe a smidge in the middle as well. I could probably get a little bit down there. That should be fine. And I'm going to pop that on top of my craft card piece. Doing that. Oh, and Annie's having a second jab tonight. Oh, good. Good for you. You'll be invincible. Oh, Sarah's having her first jab on Tuesday. Oh, brilliant. Well, they've obviously started doing the younger people now, haven't they, Sarah? Oh, Sandra's had all her jabs as well. Marvellous. Yes, virtual is all right, all well and good, isn't it? But sometimes you just want a bit of physical contact and you want to actually see people in the flesh. And we're a very hugging, well, I'm a very hugging person. Ian's a very hugging person as well, so that's one of the things that we really missed, is being able to give people a cwtch. Because we don't hug in Wales, we cwtch in Wales. So I'm just going to pop my craft layer nice and flat on that, on my back, on my card blank. Obviously, if you wanted to raise it up, you could do that with foam tape or foam pads, whatever. I like to keep my cards fairly flat. And then my next layer, I'm also going to put flat as well. So this is my, oh actually no, before I do that, I need to, no, I'm going to do it after. I'm going to do it afterwards. I was just thinking about my sentiment, but I'll stamp it afterwards, because then I'll know exactly where I want to put it. And because it's got the debossed areas as well, that makes it easier to line it up as well, which is quite handy. It looks quite 3D-ish anyway, I think, doesn't it? You know, you could, if you weren't in the know, you might think that it was already 3D'd. Very true, Annie. Anyone can hug, but only the Welsh can cooch. Right, so that's that. So that's looking nice. So now I'm going to, what I need to do is I need to work out how long my border needs to be, because at the moment it's a little bit too long. So I'm going to get my trusty pencil and I'm going to try and line it up. I'm going to be cutting it so that it's the size of my backing sheet. So I'm just going to line up by eye where I think it should go. And I think it's about there. And I think I might use my guillotine just to make sure I cut it straight as well. Hopefully that's going to be in the right place. Oh, really, Peter? Oh, there we are. Peter's niece is called Grace. Perfect. But I'm going to cover that up. Yeah, so that's my, it's going to be my border. You don't have to put it on foam pads if you don't want to, because it's quite nice like that actually, but what I did on my first one, I actually used a bit of ribbon as well, because there's like a dotted area in the middle of that one. So I actually wrapped a little bit of ribbon around that. But I think I'm going to leave it like that actually on this one, because I quite like the craft card coming through. So I'm just going to get a bit of my foam tape, and Ian's going to moan at me now because I'm using far too much foam tape. I'll buy you a new one, don't worry. It is nearly my birthday anyway, so you can't moan at me. There we are. So then I'm just going to peel the backing off of that. See, it's quite a straightforward card really, isn't it? Quite straightforward. All the prettiness is in the backing paper really. And of course I'm going to do my usual little trick, and when I peel the backings off of these, and same if you're using double-sided tape as well, I always tend to just peel off a little bit and then fold it back like that. So when I actually put it onto my card, it doesn't stick down straight away. I can actually move it, so I can decide exactly where I want to put it, and then when I know when I'm happy, then I can actually give it a bit of a push. Excuse me, tucky bits again. Does that look lined up? Yes, that looks lined up. And then I can just peel the backing away, and that's that on there. Lovely jubbly. And then, which I think I'm leaning towards the black one. And the reason I'm leaning towards the black one is because I'm going to put a sentiment at the top there in black ink, and I think the black would be nice actually. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a shape. So I'm just going to bend the flowers, not the flowers, what they're called, leaves, that's the one. Leaves and the petals back a little bit and lift them up just to give it a little bit of shape. And then that's going to stick on there. And grab some foam tape from, what's the word? 3D glue gel, that's the one. And I'm going to put my 3D glue gel on there. Just a smidge, just to give it a little bit of height. I've left this flower colourless because I've got it on craft card, but you could, if you wanted to colour it, you could use, you could just use the inks that I've used to stamp. So I could use the water reactive inks to colour it. You could use watercolour pens, you could use alcohol pens, pixie powders, you know, you could do a nice glittery flower if you wanted to. All sorts of different things you could do. And then I just need to decide which sentiment I want. So the one I used on my first card was without change there would be no butterflies. Everything sort of fits really nicely, doesn't it? I mean, you could do happy anniversary would go nicely in there as well. Your kindness makes such a difference. That's nice, isn't it? Quite generic. I mean, that one does fit nicely, but I'm not going to use the butterfly one this time. Find blue beauty in every day. Sending love your way. Oh dear, which one do I go for? You make my heart smile. I do like a nice swirly font. Your kindness makes such a difference. Anyone got any preference? The love one. Sending love your way? That's quite a nice one, isn't it? Because that could be for all different occasions. It could be from a birthday, sympathy. Oh, there we are. Sending love your way. Yep. That'll do. These are our, these are Sentimentally Yours acrylic circle blocks. They're fab. Love these. They're the right sort of thickness. They've got a little bit of an indentation in there as well, so you can hold them really easily as well. So I tend to, if I'm not using my press to impress, I tend to use these. And I'm going to be very brave and stamp straight onto my backing. If it did go completely wrong and looked rubbish, it's not the end of the world. You can just cut out a sentiment, cut out a piece of card or something and put your sentiment onto that. That'll do. That'll do. Could use the square nesting dies actually, that'd be quite nice. And cut a little square out and do a sentiment in that. If it all went wrong, but that came out all right actually. Not completely perfect, but it'll do. So there's always ways of covering things up if you make a mistake, so never worry about that. There we are. So sending love your way. I think the black looks nice. Just sort of stands out, doesn't it? And then the only other thing I did on my original card was I added a couple of pearls. But I don't think this one needs it. What's the time? Oh, just gone 3. There we are. That's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think it needs it really. I think the design is quite nice as it is. I mean, I could maybe put some pearls. If I was going to do anything, I'd probably put a couple of pearls along there, actually, on the border. That might be quite nice. There we are. So what do you think, everyone? Quite straightforward, quite easy to do, really. Obviously, you could use different backing papers, different stamps. It's all quite changeable and versatile. There we are. Oh, lots of loves and likes. Thank you very much. Oh, exactly. Just like sending a bunch of flowers. And I think the distressing around the edge just does make it look a little bit, just does finish it off, I think. Okie doke. So very quickly, just before I sign off for the day, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm just going to quickly show you this that we've had in. So I shall pop those up there. We've just had another Sentimentally Yours order in. So we've had the new compendium box. So I know a couple of people have been thinking of umming and ahhing about whether to get this or not. So I thought I'd show you exactly what you get in the box. So you get a really nice sturdy craft box actually, which is rather nice, isn't it? Yes. So and that can stand up sideways and then you can store everything in there. And then if I show you everything that you actually get, I haven't really looked at everything yet because we only just had it just before I started doing my live. So you do get a twinkling embossing powder. This is rose gold. And you also get some crystal sparkles. This one is pink frosting. It's rather nice. I'll come back to those a bit later. You also get, make sure my fingers are clean. You also get some card blanks. So these are, what size are these card blanks? They're probably 7 by 7, I would think, card blanks, and the matching envelopes. You also get some pre-scored card blanks here, which are probably a little bit smaller than C5 actually, aren't they? They're probably, well, they're not 5 by 7. No, they're bigger than 5 by 7, so they might be C5 actually. Yep, they are. Yep, just looked a bit smaller. So you get the pre-scored cards and the matching envelopes for doing your A5 cards as well. Ooh, some nice watercolour accent backing papers. So they're rather nice as well. Limited edition, 24 sheets. You can make some nice cards out of those as well, couldn't you? There's also, there's loads of stuff. You also get this set of backing papers, which I think is stunning. Another butterfly one, but some really nice designs on there. Again, 24 sheets, limited edition, only available in this pack, I think. So that's that. Then you also get, where are we? These are some toppers and labels and things like that. That one's round the wrong way. Oh, they print it upside down. Yeah, so you get some borders. I mean, that would go quite nicely with this card design, wouldn't it? And those ones there, they're not die cut, so you would have to die cut them yourself or cut them out by hand, but they're very straightforward. You also get some colour card. Very similar In fact, I can't really tell the difference between this and the colour Pick a Mix colour card that we sell in our shop. So you get quite a few sheets of those as well, which is rather nice. And then you also get a little pack of goodies here, which I haven't even opened yet, which I think is going to be the dies and embossing folders and things like that. So all wrapped up nicely in some tissue paper. And then you've got a lovely butterfly die. Ooh, look at that. That would go nice on with this one, wouldn't it? With this card. Perfect size. Really nice, that one is. You get Papillon Paradise Medley stamp set. Clear stamp set there. Oh, look. Oh, see, look. Scallop border. I was looking for a scallop border today. That would be perfect for this card. I don't know. I should have looked at this earlier. This stamp set, I think, is absolutely amazing. This is the reason I wanted this. I just love the font. I just think that is gorgeous. So you get a nice A5 stamp set there. Really nice font. I can just look at that all day. Mad, isn't it? But yeah, so I really like that. So that's an A5 stamp set. You also get a stencil with lots of butterflies on it. And little diamonds, actually, which would coordinate with my card from today as well. I don't know. You also get a couple of really thick grey board. Bloody hell, they are thick, aren't they? Cool. Laser cut butterflies, which you can just pop out. And some nice little swirls, which look very similar to the dies that we've actually had in recently as well. So they're rather nice. Really thick as well. And then you also get a couple of embossing folders as well, 5x7 embossing folders. So you get a swirly one and then a butterfly one. Fab. Ooh, we'll be having some fun with that later. Have a good old play, I think. Yeah, so we've only ordered enough for people that asked to pre-order them. I did send an email out and put a message on Facebook last week, I think it was, to say we were ordering. So the people that have ordered, we'll sort those orders out. But if anyone else does want to order the compendium, please let us know and we can order it for you. If you're, I think the retail price is £125. If you're local to us and you're going to be able to pick it up from the shop, then we're doing 20% off, and it works out at £100, so you get £25 off of that. If you need us to send it in the post, obviously it's quite heavy, so we need to charge a little bit for delivery. So I think we're doing it for £115, so you get £10 off. So you're still saving on the RRP. And I think even at the RRP of £125, you're saving. I'm not sure how much of a saving it is, but you are saving just at the full price. So there we are. So thank you again for watching. Those are my 2 cards. Hope you enjoyed that. And keep your eyes on our Facebook page and our website, and if you sign up to our mailing list as well, we'll be sending out emails and messages and all sorts of things about what's going on. Hopefully we're going to hear tomorrow whether we can reopen the shop from next week, fingers crossed. But if not, we'll be back on live next Thursday. But we'll still be doing some lives whenever we can. We'll probably do a live on the compendium box, because I'll probably just need to, because I just need to play and I need an excuse to play. Okie dokie, well thank you very much everyone. Don't forget we're still available for store pickups, contactless store pickups, and you can order for delivery as well on our website. So hopefully we shall see everyone soon. We'll be able to give everyone lots of cookies in the shop. Okie doke, take care everyone, and don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, then you'll get notified whenever we upload any new videos. And take care everyone, be safe, and we shall see you all very soon. Thank you, bye!